It's a popular misconception that Germans are all gloomy, unhappy people with no sense of fun. Of course, people who think that have never driven this week's road test by request subject, the Porsche 911. Even among exotic cars, few can match the thrill of driving Zuffenhausen's finest. And with the latest 911, especially the new 911 Turbo, we understand that those Germans can be a lot of fun.
Our German engineers could have road tested the new Porsche 911 Carrera 4 back home in Germany. They could have taken the 270 horsepower engine out on the Autobahn again, or driven the Black Forest with the all-wheel drive and radical suspension. They could have done all that back home. But then, they wouldn't have gotten all this neat stuff.
If you've seen Porsche's latest TV commercials, it's easy to get the impression that the folks building the Porsche 911 are indeed having an awful lot of fun. It's hard not to. The latest 911 Turbo has a massive dose of everything that makes driving enjoyable, including massive horsepower. The tweaked and tightened 3.6-liter twin-turbo flat six has been redone from top to bottom. It now makes 400 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. That's good for a 60 sprint and a flash of 4 seconds flat, and a quarter-mile run of 12.4 seconds, ending at 114 miles per hour. Talk about miles of smiles. Then there's the massive grip, courtesy of a modified Carrera 4 all-wheel drive system and advanced Bridgestone tires on new 18-inch hollow-spoke alloy wheels. They deliver all that monster power to the ground without the sensitive tendency of spinning itself into the weeds like the turbos of old. Even lead-footed blast around Pocono International Raceway's snaking road course produced nothing but grins on our drivers, and only one request, a desire for a bit less front-end push. And then there's the massive whale-tail rear spoiler. In this year's case, an organic reshaping of this mandatory turbo styling cue that both increases downforce and houses the engine's dual intercoolers. It flows into the standard 911 Carrera styling with a grace that reflects the car's exquisitely balanced handling, as well as a new corporate vibrancy that sees Porsche putting the hard days of the early 90s behind them. The fact that it's still one of the most distinctive machines on the road reflects well not only on Ferry Porsche's original design, but on the company's brightest talents of today. The same goes for the leather-covered interior, which grows more user-friendly each year, but still maintains the look of a classic. Modern requirements like the Turbo's compact airbag modules have been integrated with precision, and a sophisticated electronic security system that may confuse owners as much as thieves. Slide into the tight-fitting bucket seats, and you face a familiar spread of round analog gauges, again friendlier to the eye than previous years. And someone at Porsche has finally listened to us and given the cassette stereo big, easy-to-understand switchgear. The 911's rear seat continues to be one only in name, but folds down into a convenient package shelf, while the real luggage still rides up front, and a trunk that finally holds a proper suitcase. But luggage space isn't a 911 Turbo owner's main preoccupation. Driving is. And in the hands of a properly trained owner, the Turbo is one of the most capable road cars ever built. The superb steering feedback and almost magnetic grip fill you with confidence, while the latest multi-link rear suspension soaks up bumps that would have kicked the old Turbo's tail loose in an instant. With both turbochargers spinning, the engine is a festival of low-end grunt that's easily exploited by the tightly spaced ratios of the silky 6-speed manual gearbox. Huge anti-lock equipped disc brakes haul the Turbo down from 60 in only 96 feet and allow you to dive deep into corners with complete security. Now, this performance does exact a price in the form of a harsher ride than the standard 911 Carrera. It's an astounding package, and as befits a true supercar, sells for an astounding price, $99,000. Add vehicle destination charges and $2,600 of gas guzzler tax, and the total stands at $102,455. A hefty price to be sure, but actually no more than the previous 911 Turbo. And that should make well-heeled Porsche customers smile even more. For few cars embody the joy of driving like the newest Porsche 911 Turbo. It's no wonder that all these Germans are having so much fun. And as long as you're behind the wheel, it never stops.